Imagine waking up every day without that heavy feeling of fear weighing you down, stepping into your life with unshakable calm, a clear mind and a heart full of courage. Picture a life where obstacles no longer intimidate you, but instead inspire you to rise higher. Sounds powerful, right? Now, what if I told you that ancient wisdom, passed down for more than 2,500 years through the teachings of the Buddha, holds the keys to making this your reality? These timeless lessons have already guided millions toward inner peace, strength, and mental freedom. And today, they can do the same for you. In this video, I'm going to reveal 12 profound teachings from the Buddha that can help you break through the walls of fear, step boldly into your true potential, and rewrite the story you've been telling yourself. These aren't just feel-good ideas. These are practical, transformative insights that will change how you see fear, how you face it, and how you ultimately rise above it. Together, we'll explore how fear is born, how it deceives us, and how, by shifting our mindset, we can dissolve it completely. You'll learn how to embrace uncertainty with strength, face challenges without panic, and move through life with resilience and grace. So, if you're tired of letting fear dictate your choices, if you're ready to reclaim your power, open your heart, and step fully into the life you were meant to live, stay with me. Let's dive deep into these life-changing Buddhist principles and unlock the fearless warrior within you. 1. Witness the illusion of fear. Have you ever thought about how much of what we feel is just something made up by our own mind? A long time ago, Buddha explained that most of what we experience isn't really happening. It's just an illusion, something created by our thinking. Fear, especially, is often not real. It usually comes from our imagination, from worrying about things that have not even happened yet. When we understand that fear is mostly a story we tell ourselves, we can start to see it for what it really is. We realize it is not part of the real world, but something made inside our heads. And once we see that, fear begins to lose its power over us. Picture this. You are standing on the edge of a tall cliff. You look down. Suddenly, your heart beats faster. Your hands get sweaty. Your stomach feels tight. But ask yourself, what is really going on? Are you falling? Are you hurt? Not at all. The only thing happening is that your mind is making up a scary future that doesn't exist. This is what the mind does. It creates stories. It thinks about the worst things that could happen. It shows you pictures of bad outcomes, even though none of them are real. But here's something important to know. Fear is just a thought. It is not a fact. It is not the truth. It is a habit that lives in your mind, and you have the power to break it. Fear is a little like a shadow. It looks big when you turn away from it, but if you face it directly, it fades away. Every time you start something new or take a big step in life, fear will probably show up. That's normal. But fear doesn't mean you are in danger. It means you are growing. It means you are stepping outside your comfort zone. It's a good sign, not a bad one. Fear isn't there to block you. It's there to help you see that you are about to become stronger than you were before. You are not the fear you feel. You're the one who notices the fear. You're the one who decides whether to believe it or not. And once you understand that fear is only a passing feeling, you take away its control over your life. Fear is just like any other thought. It comes and it goes. It's not something you have to hold on to. It's not something you have to obey. The next time you feel afraid, take a deep breath. Pause Remind yourself, this is not real. This is only my mind trying to protect me. I don't have to listen. You have the choice to move forward. You have the strength to keep going. You have the courage inside you to live the life you dream about. Fear is only an illusion. It can't stop you unless you let it. So open your eyes, see fear for what it really is. Step past it. Your real life, the one full of joy, power and freedom, is waiting for you. You are stronger than fear, always. 2. Practice right mindfulness, samasati. In Pali language, sati literally means memory, awareness or recollection. However, in the Buddhist context, sati is not just ordinary memory of past events. It is about remembering to stay attentive to the present moment, maintaining continuous awareness of body, feelings, mind and mental objects. Mindfulness means paying full attention to what's happening right now without trying to change it or run away from it. It's the simple act of being fully awake in the present moment. One of the biggest tricks fear plays on us is pulling our minds into the past or throwing us into the future. Fear lives in the stories we tell ourselves, stories about what might happen or what could go wrong. But here's the good news. When we practice mindfulness, we bring our attention back to now. When we notice our breathing, feel the ground under our feet, or listen closely to the sounds around us, we create distance between ourselves and the fear. We start to see that fear is not a fact. It's just a thought passing through the mind, like a cloud floating across the sky. By practicing mindfulness every day, even for just a few minutes, we build mental strength. We become like a steady mountain that doesn't shake every time a strong wind blows. Fearful thoughts may still appear, but instead of getting caught up in them, we can watch them come and go without reacting. When you notice fear-based thoughts like, "What if I fail?" or "What if something terrible happens?" try to simply observe them. Don't judge them. Don't believe them immediately. Imagine you are sitting on the side of a river and each thought is just a leaf floating by. You can even gently label them if it helps. Here's fear, or this is worry. Labeling helps you see the thought as just that, a thought, not your reality. Fear isn't just something that happens in your mind. It shows up in your body too. You might feel your heart pounding, your breathing getting faster, or a tight feeling in your chest. Instead of trying to fight these feelings or run from them, mindfulness teaches us to notice them with kindness and curiosity. You might say to yourself, "My heart is beating fast right now." Just noticing these sensations without needing to fix or change them helps you understand that they are temporary. They will pass, just like everything else. Buddha once said, "The mind is everything. What you think, you become." If you can learn to see your fear without reacting to it, you take away its power. Fear loses its grip when you meet it with open awareness instead of resistance. Over time, mindfulness changes your relationship with fear. Instead of seeing fear as an enemy you must defeat, you see it as a visitor, something that comes and goes. You don't have to push it away or fight it. You simply allow it to be, and in doing so, you become bigger than your fear. You become the steady, calm presence that observes all the storms without getting lost in them. Mindfulness teaches you that you are not your thoughts. You are not your fear. You are the watcher, the quiet witness behind it all. And when you live from that place, fear cannot control you anymore. Every time fear knocks on your door, you have a choice. You can react in panic, or you can pause, breathe, and respond with awareness. Each time you choose mindfulness over fear, you grow stronger, braver, and more free. Mindfulness isn't just a practice, it's a way of living. It's the path to real inner peace, real confidence, and real freedom. So next time fear shows up, don't fight it, don't believe it. Simply see it, smile at it, and let it pass like a cloud on a windy day. This is the power of mindfulness. This is how you transform fear into freedom. Cultivate mindfulness and watch your whole life change. 3. Develop wisdom. Panya. The word panya means complete knowing or thorough understanding. It refers to an awakened deep understanding of the Dhamma, the truth. In many suttas, the Buddha says that panya is the light that destroys the darkness of ignorance, avidya. The Buddha said, Nati panya sama abha, which means there is no light like wisdom. He taught that wisdom, or panya, is like a lamp that lights up the darkness of confusion. Without wisdom, our minds get lost in fear, anger, and sadness. We believe every thought, every feeling, and every story our mind tells us, even if it's not true. Fear especially loves to trick us. It tells us, you can't do this, or something bad is going to happen. But if we look closely, we can see that fear is just a voice in our head. It is not reality. It is not truth. Fear is an illusion created by a mind that doesn't yet see clearly. Wisdom is what helps us wake up. It teaches us to stop believing every scary thought. It shows us how to see through fear, just like seeing through a fog that hides the beautiful world around us. Think about this. When you were a child, maybe you were afraid of the dark. You imagined monsters hiding in the closet. But when you turned on the light, what did you see? Nothing scary, just clothes and toys. The monsters were never real. They were only in your mind. It's the same with fear today. Our mind creates monsters out of future worries, failures that haven't happened, and problems that aren't real. But with wisdom, we can turn on the light and see clearly. There is no real danger here. Wisdom reminds us that thoughts are just thoughts. They come and go like clouds in the sky. You don't have to hold on to every fear that crosses your mind. You don't have to believe every story your mind creates. You have the power to look deeper. When you practice seeing things clearly, fear starts to lose its power. You realize this fear is just a visitor. I don't have to invite it to stay. Developing wisdom means asking questions like, is this fear really true? What is real right now? Am I safe right now? Is my mind just trying to protect me even when there is no real danger? By asking these questions, you stop reacting blindly. You stop letting fear run your life. You start living with courage and calm. Wisdom also teaches us that change is natural. Bad times pass, good times pass. Fear passes too. Nothing stays the same forever. When you know this deeply, you don't panic when fear shows up. You smile at it, knowing it will soon leave. Another thing wisdom shows us is that failure is not the enemy. Fear often tells us, if you fail, it's the end. But wisdom knows every failure is a lesson. Every mistake is a step toward strength. You don't have to be perfect. You don't have to be fearless. You just need to keep seeing clearly and moving forward one step at a time. So the next time fear whispers in your ear, take a deep breath. Look at it with wise eyes. Remind yourself, this is not real. This is just my mind trying to protect me. I can thank it and move forward anyway. You have wisdom inside you already. You have the ability to tell the difference between fear and truth. You have the strength to choose courage over doubt. Fear may seem real, but it's just a shadow on the wall. Wisdom is the light that makes the shadow disappear. The more you trust your wisdom, the less power fear has over you. 4. Accept impermanence, anicca. In Pali, the word anicca literally means not lasting or not permanent. It is one of the three marks of existence, tilakkhana, along with dukkha, suffering, unsatisfactoriness, and anata, nonself. The Buddha emphasized that realizing anicca deeply, not just intellectually, but through direct insight, helps to loosen attachment, craving, and eventually leads to liberation, nibbana. Life is always moving, always changing. Nothing stays the same forever. Not your feelings, not your thoughts, and not even your fears. Buddha shared a powerful truth. Everything in this world is temporary, but many times fear and anxiety grow when we try to hold on to things, hoping they'll stay just the way they are. We fear losing people we love, our jobs, our health, or our sense of security. Just thinking about these losses can create deep fear and sadness. Yet, the truth is simple. Nothing in life is fixed. Everything around us and within us is constantly shifting. The seasons change, our bodies age, emotions rise and fall like waves, and situations come and go. The only real constant is change itself. In Buddhism, it's taught that clinging too tightly to anything, whether good or bad, creates suffering. When we expect life to stay the same, or when we demand that happiness should never end, we set ourselves up for disappointment. Fear often starts because we refuse to accept that everything, even the best moments, will eventually pass. But here's the freeing part. If happiness is not forever, then neither is sadness, pain, fear, or failure. No matter how dark a moment feels, it will eventually change. This is the heart of anicca, the truth that everything is in motion and nothing is permanent. When you really understand this, you can stop gripping life so tightly. You stop trying to control every outcome or worrying so much about the future. Instead of fighting change, you learn to move with it. You realize you don't need to fear losing something because everything is a part of the natural flow of life. Think about a hard time you've been through. At the moment, it probably felt like it would never end. But look at where you are now. You made it through. Just like a storm that blows through and clears, tough moments are never permanent. When we accept impermanence, we stop overthinking. We don't get lost in what-ifs or worst-case stories in our heads. Instead, we live more peacefully, trusting that no matter what happens, it too will shift and change. Our minds and hearts are stronger than we think, and we are built to adapt. So how do we practice embracing this truth in daily life? Start by noticing the small changes around you. Watch how the sun rises and sets without fail. See how flowers bloom and fade. Pay attention to how your own thoughts and emotions shift from morning to night. Remind yourself that nothing stays the same, and that's okay. This moment is precious because it won't last forever. And knowing this makes the present more beautiful. When fear shows up, instead of pushing it away or letting it control you, acknowledge it. Say to yourself, this feeling is here now, but it won't be here forever. Meet fear with kindness, knowing it's just a passing visitor, not a permanent resident in your life. Remember, you are not stuck. Life is like a river, and you are meant to flow with it, not fight against it. Embracing impermanence doesn't mean giving up. It means trusting the process of life. It means having faith that even if today is hard, tomorrow brings new possibilities. It means seeing change not as something to fear, but as something to welcome. Impermanence is not something to be afraid of. It's a reminder that nothing bad lasts forever, and that every moment holds a chance for something new. Trust the flow. Let life change you, and watch yourself become stronger, freer, and more alive. 5. Embrace the nature of suffering. Dukkha. One of the most important lessons from the Buddha's teachings is about suffering. Suffering isn't something strange or rare. It's a natural part of life. Every one of us at some point feels sadness, disappointment, fear, or anxiety. The Buddha used the word dukkha to describe this deep truth. Life has challenges, and pain is part of the journey. Fear is just one form of suffering. It's that uneasy feeling that creeps up when life feels uncertain, or when we think something bad might happen, whether it's fear of losing a job, fear of rejection, fear of failure, or even fear of death. It all falls under dukkha. It's not just you. It's not a flaw in who you are. It's something every human experiences. Realizing that suffering is universal changes how we see fear. When fear rises, we often think, "Why me?" or "What's wrong with me?" But the truth is, there's nothing wrong with you. Fear happens because life is unpredictable, and our minds naturally react when we sense risk or loss. It's the human condition. No one escapes it, not the rich, not the successful, not even the strongest among us. When you deeply understand that fear is part of life, not a mistake, not a failure, you begin to feel less alone. You stop thinking of fear as a personal weakness. Instead, you see it for what it really is, a shared human experience. This simple shift in thinking makes fear feel less overwhelming. Imagine walking into a dark room alone. You feel scared, but if you walk into that same dark room with a group of friends, it feels much easier to face. Knowing others also feel fear brings comfort and courage. You realize, I'm not the only one going through this. Understanding dukkha also shows us that suffering, including fear, is temporary. Feelings come and go, just like clouds passing through the sky. Fear doesn't stay forever. It appears, it peaks, and then it fades away. When you remember that fear is temporary, it becomes less powerful. You no longer react with panic. Instead, you can breathe, watch it come, and watch it leave. This ability to observe fear without getting caught up in it is a real strength. So how do you work with this understanding in everyday life? First, when fear arises, don't judge yourself. Don't push it away or pretend it's not there. Just recognize it. This is fear. This is part of being human. By acknowledging it without shame, you stop adding more suffering on top of the fear. Second, practice compassion for yourself and for others. When you realize everyone is facing their own struggles, you naturally develop a softer, kinder attitude. You stop being so hard on yourself and others. Compassion helps melt fear's hard edges. Third, remember the bigger picture. Life is not just fear and suffering. There is also joy, beauty, love, and growth. Yes, dukkha is real, but it's only one part of the human story. By embracing the full experience of life, the good and the hard, you find a deeper peace. Finally, look at fear as a teacher. It shows you what matters to you. It points to areas where you can grow. Facing fear can open the door to courage, wisdom, and strength you didn't know you had. By understanding dukkha, we understand ourselves, and we find the path to real inner peace. So next time you feel fear rising in your chest, remember, you are not broken. You are not alone. You are simply living the deep, real experience of being human. 6. Observe the law of cause and effect. karma. Buddha taught a simple but powerful truth. Everything happens because of causes and conditions. This is called kamma or karma. It means that our actions, what we think, say and do, create results. Good actions bring good results. Bad actions bring bad results. It's not magic, it's a natural law like gravity. Fear often makes us think the world is random or unfair. We imagine bad things happening for no reason. But when we understand kamma, we realize there is no need to fear the unknown. What we plant, we will harvest. What we send out into the world will return to us. We are not powerless. We are powerful creators of our own lives. Imagine you plant an apple seed. You water it and give it sunlight. Over time, it grows into a strong apple tree. You don't expect oranges from an apple seed, right? You know you'll get apples. Kamma works the same way. If you plant seeds of kindness, honesty and courage, those are the fruits you will one day enjoy. Fear tries to tell us that bad things will happen no matter what. But wisdom reminds us, your future depends on what you are planting right now. If you act with care, love and wisdom today, you are creating a future you don't need to fear. Sometimes we do something good and don't see results right away. That's normal. Just like a seed doesn't grow into a tree overnight, kamma takes time. But the law is always working. Every thought, every word, every action. It all matters. It all shapes your life. When you remember the law of kamma, you don't have to be afraid of what's ahead. You can trust the process. You can trust that good will come from good. The next time fear tries to scare you, stop and ask yourself, what seeds am I planting right now? If you choose to plant seeds of patience, kindness and courage, even in the middle of fear, you're already winning. You're already creating a future full of strength and peace. Kamma teaches us that we are not victims of life. We are the gardeners of our own destiny. So keep planting good seeds. Keep watering them with good thoughts, good words, and good actions. No fear can change that. No worry can undo it. 7. Grow patience. Khanti. In Buddhist wisdom, patience, called khanti, is seen as one of the greatest strengths a person can build. Fear often shows up when we lose patience. We want quick answers, fast changes, and full control over the future. But life doesn't always move on our schedule. When we practice patience, we slow down, breathe, and allow space for fear to fade. Patience brings calm, and from that calm, true strength rises. Many times, fear is just a reaction to feeling rushed or uncertain. Think about it. We feel scared when we don't know what's coming next. We worry when something takes longer than we expected. We panic because we want guarantees, but life keeps changing. Fear of not knowing. When the future feels hidden, we get anxious. Our minds spin endless what-ifs, trying to prepare for every possible problem. But trying to control the unknown only grows our fear. Fear of waiting. When goals take time or healing feels slow, impatience creeps in. We fear we're falling behind or that what we want will never happen. The Buddha taught that impatience feeds pain, while patience sets us free. Without patience, fear will always find a way to stay. But when we practice patience, we create room for peace to take root. Patience teaches us to let go of control. Building patience means trusting that not everything needs to be solved right away. We learn that life flows in its own rhythm, not ours. This trust melts away the fear that comes from trying to force everything. We begin to understand that it's okay not to have all the answers right now. Patience helps us stay strong. Through discomfort. Fear often grows when we face hard emotions, pain, or stress. The mind whispers, "I can't take this," and we want to run. But when we stay patient with discomfort, we see something amazing. Fear is not permanent. Feelings rise and fall like waves in the ocean. Instead of fighting fear or trying to run from it, patience teaches us to sit with it. We notice the fast heartbeat, the tight chest, the racing thoughts, and we stay. Little by little, the fear weakens. Patience with yourself is essential. Sometimes the person we are most impatient with is ourselves. We fear that we're not growing fast enough. We fear making mistakes, looking weak, or failing. This pressure creates even more fear inside us. Patience with yourself means giving yourself permission to be human. It's okay to fall. It's okay to take longer than you planned. Growth is not a straight line. Every step forward, no matter how small, is part of your journey. 8. Release attachment. Tanha. One of the most important teachings in Buddhism for freeing ourselves from fear is learning how to let go of attachment, known as tanha. Tanha means craving, clinging, or a strong grasping at people, things, experiences, even the way we see ourselves. It's this intense attachment that feeds most of our fears, worries, and feelings of insecurity. When you understand the nature of attachment and start releasing it, you unlock a path to deep, lasting peace. What is tanha? Tanha can be understood as a deep thirst, an endless wanting. We chase after possessions, relationships, success, or even certain emotions, thinking they will complete us. We tell ourselves, when I have this, then I'll be happy. But in reality, the more we cling, the more anxious we become. Attachment tricks us into believing that our happiness, safety, and identity depend on things outside of ourselves. And when life threatens to change those things, or take them away, fear rises. You might fear losing your job, your partner, your social standing, or your youth. You might even fear losing your sense of who you are. All of these fears are born from attachment, the belief that without something or someone, you are not whole. Letting go is not about not caring. It's important to understand that letting go of attachment doesn't mean giving up love, ambition, or connection. It doesn't mean you stop enjoying life. It means you stop holding on so tightly that your peace depends on what happens outside of you. Letting go is about releasing the desperate need for things to be a certain way. It's about trusting that true happiness comes from within, not from constantly chasing after something. When you stop clinging, you begin to move through life with more ease. You're less thrown off by change, loss, or the natural ups and downs of life. Fear loses its tight grip because you're no longer depending on the outside world to feel okay inside. How to practice non-attachment. Non-attachment is different from being cold or disconnected. It's about engaging fully in life with love, passion, and commitment, while knowing that no one thing can define your happiness. Imagine you're working hard on a dream project. Instead of clinging to the outcome, you focus on giving your best effort. You find joy in the work itself, not just in the success or failure at the end. This way, fear of failure shrinks and inner peace grows. Non-attachment lets you enjoy what you have while being at peace with whatever happens. You become flexible, resilient, and free. Let go of the need for control. Fear often comes from trying too hard to control life. We want everything to go our way, to follow our plans perfectly. But life is unpredictable by nature. No matter how much we plan, there will always be surprises. The more we try to grip everything tightly, the more fear and frustration we create. True peace comes when you accept that you can influence your actions, but not always the outcomes. Letting go of control doesn't mean giving up. It means doing your part and then trusting the flow of life. When you stop needing to control everything, you start living more freely, with less fear clouding your mind. 9. Practice compassion, karuna. Have you ever noticed how hard we are on ourselves when we feel afraid? When fear shows up, we often think there's something wrong with us. We beat ourselves up. We call ourselves weak. We hide our feelings because we're scared of being judged. But Buddha taught something different. He taught compassion, the gentle power of understanding, forgiveness and kindness, not just for others, but for ourselves too. Fear is not a failure. Fear is not a weakness. Fear is just a part of being human. And when it comes, what we need most is compassion. Imagine a small child who is scared of the dark. Would you yell at them? Would you tell them they are stupid? Of course not. You would comfort them. You would speak softly. You would sit beside them and remind them they are safe. This is the same way you must treat yourself when fear shows up. When you feel afraid, talk to yourself like you would to someone you love. Tell yourself, it's okay to feel this way. I'm here for you. We will get through this together. Compassion doesn't make fear stronger. Compassion makes you stronger. Because when you stop fighting yourself, you stop feeding the fear. You create space. You create peace. You begin to realize fear is just a passing storm, and compassion is your shelter. The next time fear appears, don't run from it. Don't beat yourself up. Instead, meet your fear with kindness. Say, "Hello, old friend. I see you. You are welcome to be here, but you will not control me." When you practice compassion for yourself, something beautiful happens. You also start feeling more compassion for others. You realize that everyone is fighting their own battles. Everyone feels afraid sometimes. Everyone has moments when they doubt, struggle, and stumble. When you understand your own fear, you can look at others not with judgment, but with tenderness. You can say, "I know what it's like. I'm with you." This connection, this kindness makes fear lose its grip. It makes you brave, not because fear disappears, but because love becomes stronger than fear. Fear will always try to tell you that you are alone, that you are not good enough, that you can't handle what's ahead. But compassion tells a different story. Compassion says, you are enough. You are not alone. You are loved. By yourself and by the whole universe. Fear shrinks your heart. Compassion expands it. Fear locks you in. Compassion sets you free. The next time you feel fear rising, take a deep breath. Place your hand on your heart. Say softly, "It's okay. I am here. I choose love over fear." 10. Surrender to the flow. Trust in the Dharma. Imagine trying to swim against the current of a mighty river. No matter how strong you are, no matter how hard you fight, the river always wins. You get tired, you get frustrated, you start to panic. That's exactly what happens when we try to control life. We struggle against things we can't change. We resist the natural flow of events. And in that resistance, fear grows. Buddha taught a different way, the way of Dharma. Dharma means the natural truth, the way things really are. It is the flow of life, the deep order behind everything. When you trust in the Dharma, you don't have to control every little thing. You learn to surrender. You learn to trust the flow of life. It's like standing in a river. If you fight the current, you exhaust yourself and feel afraid. But if you relax, let go and trust the water to carry you, you move with peace and ease. Fear is born when we resist the flow. Freedom is born when we surrender to it. Surrender doesn't mean giving up. It means trusting that life knows what it's doing, even when you don't understand. It means knowing that everything, even your challenges, are part of a bigger, wiser plan. Some things in life will go your way, some won't. Some dreams will come true, some will change, and that's okay. When you trust the Dharma, you understand that even when things don't go as planned, they're still going right. You see that what looks like a setback might be a setup for something even better. Trust doesn't mean you won't ever feel afraid again. It means that when fear comes, you can say, I trust the path beneath my feet. I don't need to see the whole map. I will take the next step in faith. You are part of something much bigger than your worries. The same force that moves the stars, that grows the trees, that beats your heart, is guiding you too. You don't have to be perfect. You don't have to know it all. You are allowed to relax. You are allowed to trust. Fear is only an illusion. The Dharma, the truth of life, is real. It's here. It's working for you, not against you. 11. Practice non-self, anata. One of the most powerful teachings of the Buddha is the concept of anata, or non-self. It sounds strange at first. How can there be no self? Am I not the one thinking, feeling, choosing, and living my life? But what if this I that we hold on to so tightly is just a story we've been telling ourselves? Think about it. From the time we were children, we were given labels, our name, our nationality, our personality traits. We were told who we are, how we should act, what success looks like, and what it means to be somebody. And over time, we built a sense of self around all those ideas. But here's the truth, that self is not solid. It's not fixed. It's always changing, just like your thoughts, your emotions, and your body. What you liked 5 years ago might bore you today. The way you saw yourself last year may be completely different now. The voice in your head, the one that tells you you're not good enough or that you need to be more, that voice isn't you. It's just passing thoughts, like clouds in the sky. Anata teaches us that there is no permanent, unchanging self. When we cling to the idea of a fixed identity, I am this, I must have that, I can't let go of this part of me, we suffer. Why? Because life doesn't play by those rules. Life moves, changes, transforms, and when we try to hold on to something that doesn't really exist, it hurts. Practicing non-self means letting go of the need to define yourself so tightly. It means releasing the ego that says, this is mine, this is me, this is who I must always be. You don't have to keep proving yourself. You don't have to carry the weight of every mistake, every expectation, every fear. Imagine how free you'd feel if you stopped trying to protect your image, impress others, or live up to every label you've been given. You are not your job. You are not your past. You are not your fears. You are not even your thoughts. So how do you practice anatta? Start by observing your thoughts without attaching to them. When you feel fear, say to yourself, this is fear, not me. When you feel anger, say, this is anger, not me. Watch these emotions come and go without claiming them. Let them pass like waves in the ocean. Take time each day to sit quietly and simply be. Don't try to become anything. Just notice the space between your thoughts, the stillness behind your feelings. That's where peace lives. When you stop clinging to the illusion of a fixed self, you become light. You become free. You realize that there's nothing to protect, nothing to prove, only this moment, alive and unfolding. That's the power of anatta. 12th, meditate on death, maranasati. Buddha once said, "Of all the footprints, that of the elephant is supreme. Similarly, of all mindfulness meditations, that on death is supreme." Why would the Buddha speak so highly of meditating on death? Isn't that dark? Isn't that scary? The truth is, death isn't something to be feared, it's something to understand. In Buddhism, maranasati means mindfulness of death. It's not about being morbid, it's about waking up. When we remember that we are mortal, we begin to live more fully. We stop wasting time on things that don't matter. We stop clinging so tightly to our fears, our egos, our drama. Imagine this: you're scrolling through your phone, stressed about bills, work, or what someone said about you. Then suddenly you remember, you won't be here forever. One day your time will run out. In that moment, does that argument still matter? Does that worry still control you? Probably not. Thinking about death isn't meant to depress you, it's meant to liberate you. It helps you strip away the nonsense. It helps you see what's real. It reminds you to love more deeply, speak more kindly, and live with purpose. Because you don't know when your last breath will come. None of us do. Look around you. The withering flower, the setting sun, the wrinkles on your hands. They are all whispering the same truth. You are here for a moment. Make it count. Here's a daily example. Think about when you leave home in the morning. You assume you'll come back. But the Buddha teaches, never assume you'll see something or someone again. That doesn't mean live in fear. It means live with awareness. When you hug your loved ones, really hug them. When you speak, mean what you say. Let death remind you to be awake in life. Fear comes from forgetting this truth. We fear what we don't understand. But death is not the enemy. It is the natural end to everything born. Just like night follows day, death follows life. It's not something to resist, it's something to accept. So how do we practice maranasati? Take 1 minute each day, sit quietly, breathe in and think. This breath could be my last. Not in a fearful way, but in a truthful way. This awareness will sharpen your focus, calm your mind, and make you more present. You'll argue less. You'll forgive faster. You'll stop procrastinating on what really matters. Death is not something far away. It's the silent teacher walking beside you every day. And when you meditate on it, you don't become gloomy, you become free. By applying these 12 insights from Buddha, you can begin to shift how you relate to fear. Rather than letting it take control or hold you back, fear can become a doorway to personal growth, greater awareness, and inner calm. Keep in mind that fear isn't an enemy to defeat or a feeling to suppress. It's a natural experience, one we can learn to face, understand, and eventually move beyond with the help of mindfulness, kindness, and clear understanding. If these teachings resonated with you, please like, comment, and subscribe. And always remember, you hold the strength to rise above fear and create a life rooted in courage, peace, and true freedom. Thanks for being here.